Good Saturday morning, Meteorologist Ryan Hoke here with another edition of the Hokey video blog. I wish I had better news and circumstances to be seeing you all under, but we certainly do have a nasty winter storm that will be possible for the Louisville area as we go throughout your Sunday evening into your early Monday. We've been poring over the data all week long and all morning long, certainly, and I've got some updates here that I want to share with you here on the blog. So let's get right to it. We've got the winter storm watch in effect for all of Kentuckiana, 7 a.m. Sunday, so that's tomorrow, to 7 p.m. on Monday. This is more than a 24-hour time span, so this is going to be a long-duration event and widespread in it. And most of Kentucky and most of Indiana are under this watch, so this is a big area that's going to be affected. The pink you see out to our west, just west of our counties there in Evansville, that is a winter storm warning. I fully expect many of our counties to be upgraded to that warning status as we go throughout the day closer to the event and with more data coming in. Around the area right now on radar, not a whole lot going on. Just a few showers as we expected. We're all above freezing, so no problems there. Any problems with any freezing precipitation will be well north of our area. Got a little bit of an area of rainfall out there just west of Harrison County right now. And see this little spike right here? This is actually the sunrise being captured by radar. That solar radiation passes in the range of the radar beam, and we're able to see that. Kind of a cool thing there this morning. Let's zoom out to the regional satellite view. You see some of that snow up there near portions of the Great Lakes. And then we've got some of our showers here in Kentucky and a lot of cloud cover. That's going to be the story for today. May see some breaks in that. You see one out there near Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So some folks may see some sunshine in places, but I would definitely call a cloudy to mostly cloudy day here in the metro area. All right, here's this big storm spinning off the California coast. You've heard about it, causing many rainfall concerns across the California coast. We are still waiting for this area of low pressure that you see here to get inland. And until it does, we're going to have some trouble with the computer model data for our winter storm because the energy, the upper level energy of this storm is going to be the exact same energy that moves across the country and causes our winter headache as we go throughout tomorrow into Monday. And until we can send weather balloons into this storm here, we can't get any temperature data, any humidity data, or any pressure data from it to feed into the computer model, so we don't know exactly what's going on with it. All we have to go on really is just the radar from just off the coast there, or I should say the satellite, and then the radar returns that are coming in from the coast. That's about all we can feed into the models right now, and hopefully we can get this storm onshore by the time we go throughout this afternoon and this evening so we can get some better data and better forecasts out for you guys. Temperatures, not a problem. 32 in Seymour, that sensor usually runs a little cold, so probably mid-30s up there like Bedford and North Vernon are right now, 40 in Louisville, down to 41 there in Munfordville. So no problems today. It is tomorrow that we begin to turn our eyes toward the west to see the rain moving in. And some of this, at least as Futurecast is determining here, could be freezing rain to start off if we get enough cold air working in. You can see that it works in some warmer air during the daytime hours, switches us over to rain. I fully believe that we are going to start out as rain for this. I think some of the models are running a little too cold at the surface and trying to get this cold air in a little too quickly. So I think we're going to start out as all liquid precipitation for the morning. So if you're heading out for Sunday services, you'll just need the umbrella and certainly not the ice scraper. So good news there. But as we go throughout, say, midday and beyond, that's when southern Indiana, our counties up there, begin to switch over to freezing rain. You can see that batch right there at 3 o'clock, and that's going to be encompassing Lawrence, Jackson, Jennings counties, Du Bois, Orange. You guys could be under that too. That line moves south, and that means we're going to have an extended period of freezing rain as we go throughout Monday, say, evening or so here in the metro Louisville area. I think we'll switch over late afternoon into early evening to freezing rain here at Louisville. Eventually, we get cold enough aloft to not melt those snowflakes as much, and then that'll turn into a sleet issue here, which we would much rather have sleet than freezing rain. That is much easier to deal with, especially on the roads, and for power lines and trees that would be coming down in the freezing rain, that would provide some alleviation. So hopefully we'll get more sleet than freezing rain, but at this point, based on some of the data I'm looking at, it's not looking good. And one of the things that I've really been honing in on this morning, and something that I learned back in college, I actually learned forecasting from a Canadian guy. Of course, they know about snow, don't they? A lot of it up there. But the deal is that if you melt a snowflake completely as it goes throughout this warm layer of air aloft, by the time it gets to the surface, and maybe there's enough cold air to refreeze it into sleet, well, it's not going to refreeze because you don't have that snowflake nucleus to turn it back into sleet. So it's still going to be freezing rain even though we have a good cold layer at the surface. So I've been trying to determine if we're going to have sleet or freezing rain for a period, and it looks like the freezing rain is going to be at least a higher period, a higher potential of that than the sleet. We'll see periods of both, but a longer duration of the freezing rain. Then we switch over to the sleet, then to snow. And then the snow could last for a little while. See here, 2:30 a.m., we switched over to snow here in Louisville, and that continues really through about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning before it shifts off to the east, and even more cold air filters in. We don't get out of the lower 20s as we go throughout your Monday. And, of course, people are wanting to know the timing of this because this is important for your Sunday and your Monday morning commute. So by Sunday morning, we're rain. Afternoon, the rain to the freezing rain. I think that would be late afternoon for us here in Louisville. Areas just north of us, I think that would be early to mid-afternoon. And then our very northern counties late on your Sunday morning into that midday time frame. Sunday evening, freezing rain to sleet. Sunday overnight, here comes the sleet to snow. Driving conditions, whew. Yes, they are going to be a mess as we go throughout, say, late Sunday afternoon and beyond. I think the Monday morning commute is going to be downright treacherous because those temperatures will be falling so quickly, and we'll have that snow and that ice to contend with. Power outages aplenty, all right? Especially if we get some of those higher ice totals. You'll see that map here in just a second. Here it is. Looking for up to a quarter inch of ice, say from Paoli northward, Paoli to Madison, here in the metro Louisville area. I lowered these for a time this morning, looked at some data suggesting some warmer air would be entrained at the surface throughout much of this, but I made the decision to raise this up to a half inch again. So up to a half inch of ice here in metro Louisville based on some of the newer data that we're seeing coming in. Of course, this data gets better as that storm that we talked about out in California comes inland, and then potentially up to 0.65 inches of ice down from E-Town down to Campbellsville. Not ready to pull the trigger on 3/4 of an inch of ice yet because I just don't see enough moisture to do that. That would be falling as freezing rain during that time frame. And then ice amounts would actually get lower as you go toward Adair County. This is based on some of the latest thinking that we have, and of course, is always subject to change because this storm is not yet on land and there's still much to work out in terms of timing and temperature. Snow accumulation. Here's the second prong of this. 2 to 4 inches, basically from the parkways northward to Louisville. We could see a 5 to 7 inch accumulation from Paoli to Madison up toward Lawrence, Jackson, and Jennings counties. That's significant when you consider there's going to be up to 1/4 inch of ice under that. And the same story here in Louisville, half inch of ice topped with 2 to 4 inches of snow. That's going to be a lot of weight on those power lines and those tree limbs, and they're going to come down in a lot of places. So expect this to be a pretty widespread event. I wanted to talk real quickly about the difference between freezing rain and sleet. We always get questions about this, and it's very complicated in order to get these in terms of the temperature profiles and such. So I thought I'd explain that real quick. Freezing rain, simply just liquid rain falling from the sky that falls on objects that are below freezing. So we're below freezing here at the surface. It's warm aloft. That creates that sheet of ice. So you're seeing liquid rain come from the sky with freezing rain. With sleet, basically just ice pellets. They are partially frozen snowflakes that refreeze on their way down, and they look like small hail, but it's not hail, and it forms by a different process. So that's what sleet looks like when you see those two falling tomorrow throughout your Monday morning. We're going to have updates on social media, on the web, on TV. You'll want to stick with us. We'll have the latest coming up over the next 24 hours or so. Andy Weingarten will be in tonight. I'll be in tomorrow morning. Brian Good will be here with you for your Sunday night as we continue our coverage of this coming winter storm. This could be the biggest, in terms of ice, one of the bigger storms that we've had since 2009. We all remember that one. We're not calling for a 2009 because we're not looking for as much ice as back then, but certainly from that point to now, this will be one of the ones that we will remember. For now, I'm meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Enjoy your Saturday.